guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Christina. Some of you call me Kriss, others Tina. Whatever you prefer, that's fine with me. I am so sorry. Let me just start there. I am sorry. I have been gone for about 3 weeks at this point. It has just been a crazy 3 weeks. But anyways, in today's video, I will be doing a little get ready with me and we're gonna chat and you know what I'm saying? So grab a little popcorn, some, you know, sparkling water. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to Kriss Beauty, give this video a thumbs up and turn on your bell notifications so you do not miss out on any of my videos. So I have this look in mind that I want to do. Basically, I think I'm gonna go for a black, not necessarily smoky eye, but I would say a smoky cat eye. So yeah, so right now my face is moisturized and I have my eyebrows on. You already know that because it's already been a crazy 3 weeks and she's suffering everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I got no nails on, like it's just us just chilling today. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put on some primer. So I am going to apply just the e.l.f. Putty Primer today. Usually I apply my NYX Hydra Touch Primer, but I just don't want it to get too complicated. So I have been obsessed with this e.l.f. Putty Primer. It just gives me a very silky, smooth texture. I've been breaking out like nobody's business. I'm having a lot of cystic acne. I have no idea what's going on. Like ever since I started YouTube, I've been having like really bad acne, which is not like me. Yeah, I probably like, yeah girl, we all get acne. But honestly, I truly never break out, so I just been stressed. I'm just gonna apply this around my pore areas like I always do. And then I'm just gonna let it sit a little bit. And I'm taking a little bit more around my fine lines, which is around my forehead, you know. And also I got a new camera for my birthday, which is another reason why I was sort of MIA, because I've been really trying to adjust to this like super fancy camera. So that's just another reason or another excuse. So I'm gonna start off with the eyes. Obviously I always do that. There's no different today. So my original plan was to review the e.l.f. Camo Concealer a couple of days ago, but let's just say it did not work out. So right off the bat, this e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I picked it up in Walmart and I got it in the probably one of the most lightest shades, which is Fair Warm. It is a really, I'm just gonna explain my thoughts really quick about it before I use it and why I'm using it the way that I'm using it. So this is the shade Fair Warm. It is super thick, super full coverage. This is what it looks like. If you're wondering why I'm looking up, by the way, it's because my viewfinder is up there. I actually have a viewfinder, girl. So this is like just basically a super light concealer with a sort of warmish undertone. I was hoping to get something a little bit more my kind of like either my complexion or a shade or two lighter, and it just wasn't working out for me. It was pretty much sold out everywhere. So I was really excited about this concealer like a lot, and then I used it and I was trying to do a contour and highlight tutorial and it just basically went left. It is, off the bat, I can just say that it is super drying. It is very full coverage, which is kind of why I want to use it today, to sort of brighten up my under eyes a little bit. But I am going to use it with another concealer that is not so drying. So those are just my thoughts about that. So I am going to use this as well as my usual Maybelline Fit Me concealer on my eyes because I like the thickness of this for sure, but I don't like how drying it is, so I do want to put this down under before I go in with this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in because you know she's fancy today, and we're gonna get started. All right, y'all, so I have y'all all zoomed in. You know, y'all can really see what's like legit going on. So I am going to, like I said, I'm gonna take this Maybelline Fit Me, and I've already concealed under my brows, so I'm just basically, let me get a smaller mirror actually. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this on my lids like I usually do, and I am actually going to just let this sit on top of this. I also made the mistake of covering this with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer and it just didn't work out, so I'm going to just cover this up because this is a more buildable medium coverage concealer. I am gonna let this sit, and that's just like a really good tip if you have a concealer that you want to be a little bit more full coverage, or you only have one concealer on hand. You just let it sit for a little bit, let it dry up just a little bit. It builds up the intensity of it, I guess. So I am taking my usual Morphe M421 brush, and I'm just going to blend this out. Alright, so now that that's blended out, I do want to take my e.l.f. Camo Concealer just a little bit. Like I said, this is a super full coverage concealer, and a little does go a long way. I really do like it, besides the fact that it's super drying, super like mattifying. With my type of skin, it's just not gonna like do well. But anybody who has like normal to oily skin, they probably would enjoy this more. And I'm just going to blend this out right on top. And I am just going to carefully mix that in with the Maybelline. Just because I also noticed last time when I used this as primer, it was like, it really did change the blendability of my shadows. Alright, so I am going to put a little bit of a base down, even though I'm doing like a black cat eye sort of situation. I do want to put some just a little bit of like a transition shade. So I am going to take this fluffy brush. So by the way, I am going to be dipping into this Aphrodite palette from Bad Habit Beauty. This is one of my faves, I have to say. This is supposed to be a dupe for like the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I haven't tried that palette yet, so I don't really know how it compares, but this is like a really nice like selection of colors. Like, it's just my thing. So I am going to be taking Admire, which is like this brownish shade right here. So I like to put my transition shades right in my crease and sort of sweep it back and forth. This is a really pigmented palette, especially for the price point. Alright, so now I think I want to go into the shade below it, which is a darker like chocolate, sort of like a darker chocolate brown, but it does have a little bit of like a grayish tone to it. So I do want to take that, and I actually just want to lightly apply it right on top of that like honey brown that I put down. Okay, so then now I am going to actually put something on my actual lid. So I'm going to take my Morphe M421 brush again, and I'm going to dip into this like eggshell sort of color. It's called Koi, and I'm going to put this right on the very center and the inner corner. Now at this point, we are going to move on to like the scary part, which is the cat eye. Now, I'm a big perfectionist. You probably already know that by now, probably not, but I like to do things pretty perfect. So I just grabbed the Super Cat liner from Soap & Glory, and I am going to do a winged liner, and then I'm gonna use some black pigment to smoke it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right at the end. This is the way I usually do it. And this is just usually like my rough draft, you know? Okay, so this is the cat eyes that I came up with, and it's looking pretty good so far, honestly. They may not look, I always say this, they may not look identical just yet, but that's okay because I am gonna smoke it out with some black shadow. So speaking of, I am now going to move on to this Aphrodite palette once again. There is this super stark black down here, and I think I do want to start off with the black, and then I may go into this brownish shade. So I'm gonna take this black first, this matte black called Heartbreak, which is a really cute name, and I am going to go over this liner and just start smudging. So I am gonna take a pencil brush just like this, and I am going to take that matte black. I'm not gonna take too much because you always want to just be like really careful with black. And I am just gonna start going right on top of that liner. Just going slightly outside of the line. I'm not like going crazy because the line is already pretty thick. So I'm just trying to be super, super careful. Okay, so I am going to do the rest of my face now. I have been letting this sit here, and now it's sort of like it turned into like this thicker like consistency, which is really good. And so I'm going to put, you know, my foundation on and all that. So I am going to be taking my Dewy and Smooth foundation. You already know that this is where it's at. I'm actually going to be using a flat top brush today. And I'm just stippling this in. And then when I get to my neck, I like to do these circular motions. I always say that I'm not going to do a lot of foundation, and then I lie to myself and I lie to you guys. It's just something I can't really control, you know? Alright, so I did go ahead and add this Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation in the shade Cream Ivory just because I wanted to lighten my foundation just a little bit, but now I think it looks just a little too light. But that's okay because we're going to conceal and cream contour and stuff like that. So everything's going to balance itself out, you know what I'm saying? So at this point, I'm going to grab my Stila Custom Contour Duo in the shade Light. And I'm going to take this brown shade right here, or this contour shade, with my concealer brush, and I'm just going to cream contour really quickly. And I'm just chiseling out the chin, the neck, my existence, you know, okay? And I'm gonna let that sit for a second so I can just conceal under my eyes really quickly, because I really just don't want this Camo Concealer to go to waste. So I am going to mix this with my LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is a really good, really cheap concealer. And so I'm gonna sort of mix and match these two. And so I'm taking the shade Light Ivory from LA Girl. Like I said, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer is pretty drying. So I do want to just use a creamier concealer. So my biggest advice when using this is to just move really quickly. So if you're about to use it, make sure that you are blending it out within the next minute. So I am going to take just a few dots of this, and that's all I'm going to do. Because of this concealer, I am going to blend out my concealer first. So what I'm going to do is just take my Morphe sponge, and I'm just going to start to blend this out. And as you can see, those two shades together, it makes like a really nice golden sort of shade. And just to show you, this is the e.l.f. concealer that I used earlier. Like, it is completely like not even moving. And I noticed the other day that when I took a shower and washed my hands, it wouldn't move at all either. So I'm like, is it waterproof? I don't know. But anyways, at this point, I'm gonna take my foundation brush again, and now I'm just gonna use that to blend out my cream contour. And I sort of like to blend it a little bit upwards so it can nicely blend with the concealer, because you don't want any harsh lines, you know what I'm saying? I am going to take my Airspun loose setting powder. You can take any of your favorite powders. I'm not going to try to cake it on too much under my eyes because I did use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and it's already gonna be super, like, way too drying. So I do want to do this a little bit, like, lightly. Okay, so everything is blended and good to go. At this point, I'm gonna add some blush and some bronzer off of camera, and then I'll be right back on camera to tell you what I used. So I will be right back. Okay, So I went ahead and contoured and highlighted a little bit extra with my Wet n Wild contouring palette contour sort of situation here. There's two kinds, and this is like the more yellow warm tone one, and this is caramel toffee. I used to be obsessed with this. I don't know why I stopped using it, but I picked it up the other day in Walmart, and it's just like, I love it. That's what I use to like bake a little extra under my bronzer, and I love this shade. I love how it blends everything. And of course I use my Morphe 8W palette, and I ended up dipping into the shades Sweet, which is like this pale pink, and then also Beat, which is a pretty similar to Sweet, but it does have a shimmer in it. I'm gonna let this sit. I'm going to do my under eyes. So now at this point I am going to dip back into this Bad Habit Beauty Aphrodite palette, and I am going to take an angled brush like this, a small angled brush, and I'm going to dip into Heartbreak just a little bit, that black matte shade, and I'm going to carefully put this along my lash line. I think I want to take the same brush, and I'm going to go in with Passion, that sort of weird brownish shade, and I'm going to put this right below this black. And I did go ahead and bring it up a little bit to smoke out that liner as well. Alright, so this is what it looks like all smoked out. At this point I do want to apply lashes. I have been super obsessed with these lashes. These are from Salon Perfect, and these are the Extension Seeker multi-dimensional lashes from Salon Perfect, and they are bomb. I'm gonna go ahead and apply these with some dual lash glue really quickly. Okay, so I went ahead and I applied those bomb ass lashes, and as you can see they look really good. But they are a little bit wet still, so I'm gonna put a hold on the mascara, and I did apply them to my lower lashes, but I do want to wait for this to dry down just a little bit before I really set them in place. So I am going to put some, I do want to put a shade on my inner corner, and I do want to dip into Sparks, which is this really vibrant gold, and then Crush, which is sort of like a rose gold sort of situation. So I think I'm going to dip into Crush first, and I just want to place it on my inner corner. Okay, and then now I think I actually want to take those same shades and highlight with it. I'm going to use my Real Techniques setting brush like I always use. And I do want to dip into these three shades right here. So once again, that's Crush, which is that pink rose gold, Sparks, the gold one, and then Tease, which is like this champagne. And I'm just going to put a little bit of Tease, which is a champagne gold, on my nose, and then on my chin. But look at that highlight. Oh, let me wipe off this. So I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution Sports Fix Setting Spray, and I'm just going to lightly just set my face. So now that I have the highlight on, I'm just gonna apply a lip. So I've been a little bit obsessed with this shade from Wet n Wild. This is their gel lip liner, and this is in the shade Bear to Comment. So it's supposed to be like a nudie shade, and this is what it looks like. It definitely is a nude, but it does have a little bit of that pink in it. Okay, so I did go ahead and take some brown liner to line my lips, and I want to put this Bear to Comment shade from Wet n Wild right over it. Okay, so I went ahead and put that shade right over the brown, so just on the perimeter of my lips. And then now I think I want to just put a little bit of this shadow here the one that I use as my transition shade because it is a really pretty brown. And I want to put this on the center of my lips. I want to take a little bit of my Wet n Wild lip gloss. This is in the shade Libra. Okay, so this is the final look. This is what I came up with. If you enjoyed this look, please give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, because I have made it my mission to officially upload more consistently. But anyways, I enjoyed playing today and chatting with you guys. Also, if you guys have any suggestions on skincare regimens, routines, products that clear up cystic acne, please let me know. As always, everything that I used in today's video that I did or did not mention will be linked down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.